Hey there, fellow gardeners. Welcome back to Smart Garden, where we dig deep into the secrets that transform ordinary plots into thriving green paradises. Today, we're tackling something that might sound unusual at first, but trust me, what I'm about to share could revolutionize the way you think about soil enrichment. Think rice is just for your dinner plate? What if I told you it could be the secret weapon for your garden, but only if you prepare it the right way? We're diving deep into a surprising showdown between raw versus cooked rice, and the answer will change how you enrich your soil forever. I discovered this technique by accident, and within 3 weeks my earthworm population had genuinely tripled. Let me show you exactly how this works. For years, gardeners have whispered about using rice as a soil amendment, but there's been considerable confusion about which form works best. Some swear by tossing raw grains directly into their beds, while others insist that cooked rice is the superior choice. This isn't just a minor preference. The method you choose can dramatically impact your soil's microbial ecosystem, nutrient availability, and ultimately, the vigor of your plants. The stakes are higher than you might imagine because we're not simply adding organic matter, we're strategically feeding the invisible workforce that makes your garden thrive. There are persistent myths floating around that rice attracts pests, causes rot, or creates anaerobic dead zones in your soil. Today we're cutting through the confusion with science-backed insights and real-world observations that will settle this debate once and for all. Let's start by examining the raw rice approach, which appeals to gardeners who prefer minimal processing and a more natural decomposition timeline. Raw rice grains are essentially dormant seeds packed with concentrated carbohydrates, proteins, and minerals in their most stable form. When buried in soil, these hard grains decompose slowly, releasing nutrients gradually over weeks or even months as soil microorganisms work to break down their tough outer layers. This slow-release characteristic, really mirrors how nature handles seeds and grains in the wild, creating a sustained but gentle nutrient stream. However, raw rice presents several practical challenges that gardeners need to consider carefully. The hard, dry grains take considerable time to soften and become accessible to microbial decomposers, meaning you won't see rapid results. More concerning is the potential for attracting unwanted visitors. Rodents, birds, and other seed-eating creatures can easily spot and dig up raw rice grains before they've had a chance to integrate into your soil ecosystem. Additionally, if conditions are too dry, raw rice might just sit in your soil largely unchanged for months, providing minimal benefit. There's also the legitimate concern about fungal colonization. While some fungi are beneficial, raw grains can sometimes host problematic species before the beneficial microbes establish dominance. Now, let's explore the cooked rice approach, which is where my earthworm explosion story truly begins. Cooking rice fundamentally transforms its structure in ways that make it far more accessible to soil life. The heat and water absorbed during cooking break down the complex carbohydrate chains, softening the grains and making them immediately available to microorganisms. This pre-digestion effect means that bacteria and fungi can colonize cooked rice within hours rather than weeks, creating an almost instantaneous surge in microbial activity. When you incorporate plain cooked rice into your soil or compost, you're essentially lighting a biological fire that burns bright and fast. The beauty of cooked rice lies in its ability to trigger what I call a microbial explosion. Within just a few days of adding it to your garden beds, you'll notice the population of beneficial bacteria skyrockets as they feast on the easily accessible starches. This creates a rich, living soup of microorganisms that earthworms find absolutely irresistible. Remember, earthworms don't primarily eat the rice itself. They consume the billions of microbes that colonize the decomposing material. This is the critical distinction that explains why cooked rice tripled my earthworm population, while raw rice might take months to show similar results. The rapid decomposition also means nutrients become plant available much faster, giving your vegetables and flowers a quicker boost. However, cooked rice does require proper application to avoid potential pitfalls. The main concern is creating anaerobic conditions if you add too much in one spot or bury it too deeply. When organic matter decomposes without oxygen, it produces foul odors and potentially harmful compounds. The solution is simple: use cooked rice in moderation, incorporate it into the top few inches of soil, and ensure adequate mixing with other organic materials. Never add rice that's been cooked with oils, salt, or seasonings, as these additives can harm beneficial soil organisms and disrupt the delicate microbial balance you're trying to enhance. So, understanding the science behind this phenomenon, it really reveals why cooked rice is so remarkably effective. Rice, you see, consists primarily of starch, which is a complex carbohydrate made up of these long glucose chains. In its raw form, these chains are tightly packed in crystalline structures that actually resist enzymatic breakdown. Cooking causes these structures to gelatinize, absorbing water and swelling while breaking the hydrogen bonds that held the molecules together. This gelatinization makes the starches exponentially more susceptible to microbial enzymes, allowing decomposers to access the carbon and energy stored within. And recent horticultural studies on organic matter decomposition confirm that pre-processed organic materials decompose faster and more completely than their raw counterparts. After comparing both methods through scientific principles and practical observation, cooked rice emerges as the clear winner for gardeners seeking rapid soil improvement and earthworm population enhancement. The immediate bioavailability, faster decomposition rate, and dramatic increase in microbial activity make it the superior choice for most gardening applications. To incorporate this technique into your routine, you'll want to cook plain white or brown rice without any additives, let it cool completely, and then work small handfuls into your garden beds or compost pile, mixing it thoroughly with the existing soil and organic matter. Space your applications throughout the bed rather than dumping it all in one location, and aim for roughly 1 cup of cooked rice per square meter of garden bed every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season. Hey, here's a bonus tip that'll really help maximize your results. Try combining cooked rice with fresh grass clippings or, vegetable scraps. This mix creates the perfect carbon to nitrogen balance for your compost. This combination, honestly, it supercharges microbial activity even further. You'll end up with an environment so rich with life that earthworms will actually migrate from neighboring areas just to join the feast. Within just a few weeks, you'll notice more worm castings, better soil structure, improved water retention, and, of course, healthier, more vigorous plants. If you found this guide valuable and want more science-backed gardening secrets that actually work, don't forget to subscribe to Smart Garden and hit that notification bell. Share this video with your fellow gardening enthusiasts who are ready to transform their soil from the ground up. Together we're growing smarter, one earthworm at a time.